You know, weddings are nice and people love to get married, and things are all nice and smooth, and you're in love, and just things are going on great, sitting and eating sandwiches and things like that. And things don't get that great though once you find out or get word of that someone is doing things behind your back. Doesn't make a difference if it's a male or female that is doing it, but once they set their mind on that they don't want you anymore, then things just start tumbling downhill. Now you find yourself sitting in counseling, and then someone says, I'm done. And before you know it, you're on your way to getting a divorce. As soon as one of you get mad at each other, it's all over. Now you're married. Next thing you know, all that's going down. You're about to lose everything you had. And then sometimes it's tragedy. Now the man wants to kill the woman or have her killed. Speed up the process. Gonna go ahead and pick up that insurance policy while he's at it. But everything starts from a look. A reminder from Jesus not to commit adultery or lust at a woman. Matthew 5:27 and Matthew 5:28. Matthew 5:27 reads, Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, Thou shalt not commit adultery. Matthew 5:28 reads, But I say unto you, that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart. Because God already knows. People are not going to follow that anyway. They're going to get a divorce by men. You're going to get your paperwork, get your divorce, pay your fees and do all that. And you marry somebody else. But in God's eye, you're still bond together. Jesus says, have a writing of divorcement for putting away of a wife. Fornication shouldn't be the cause, and or so like cheating. Matthew 5:31. Matthew 5:32. Matthew 5:31 reads, It hath been said, Whosoever shall put away his wife, let him give her a writing of divorcement. Matthew 5:32 reads, But I say unto you, that whosoever shall put away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication, causeth her to commit adultery. And whosoever shall marry her that is divorced committed adultery. And Paul basically says, if you're single, try to stay single. But if you find yourself that you can't stay single, he said it's best to marry or burn. I think that's an easy choice. Marry or burn. You better make your choice. You better go ahead and get married. If you can't contain yourself, best to get married instead of burning. And so, since we all know this comes from a look, but what Jesus doesn't like is he really doesn't like anyone to get a divorce at all. But, like I said before, he knows that people are going to do it. People are going to do it. They're going to do it, just like people break the law. Not supposed to, but it's done every day. So it kind of goes like this. Keep your eyes where your eyes belong. You won't get in trouble. Paul gives his advice on singles and couples as in married couples. 1 Corinthians 7:6 through 7:11. And we'll start with 1 Corinthians 7:6. It reads, But I speak this by permission and not of commandment. 1 Corinthians 7:8. It reads, I say therefore to the unmarried and the widows, it is good for them that they abide even as I. 1 Corinthians 7:9. It reads, But if they cannot contain, let them marry. For it is better to marry than to burn. 1 Corinthians 7:10. It reads, And unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord. Let not the wife depart from her husband. 1 Corinthians 7:11. It reads, But, and if she depart, let her remain unmarried, or be reconciled to her husband, and let not the husband put away his wife. But in God's eye, you still bond together. That's right. That man and that woman that you married that were just previously divorced, that's not your husband, that's not your wife. Not until one of them dies. Once the one of the ones that die that were divorced, then that becomes your husband or your wife, but only after death. Paul says a wife is bound to the husband as long as he lives. 1 Corinthians 7:39, Romans 7:2, Romans 7:3. 1 Corinthians 7:39, it reads, "The wife is bound by law as long as the husband liveth, but if her husband is dead, she is at liberty to be married to whom she will, only in the Lord." Romans 7:2, it reads, "For the woman which has a husband is bound by law to her husband so long as he liveth. But if the husband be dead, she is loosed from the law of her husband." Romans 7:3, it reads, "So then if, while her husband liveth, she be married to another man, she shall be called an adulteress. But if her husband be dead, she is free from that law, so that she is no adulteress, though she may be married to another man." Basically boils down to be like this. If you're single and you never married, do not marry a woman that is divorced. Marry only a widow or a person that never been divorced. Okay? In other words, another woman that has not been married before, or a widow. That's all you can marry. Because if you marry a divorced woman, she's not your wife until the guy dies, or vice versa. A woman marries a man who has been married before, got a divorce, and she marries the man that has the divorce, that's been married previously. Well, it's not your wife until someone dies. Okay? Then, only then, is that woman your wife. But other than that, you're just practicing. Okay? So, the best thing is do your best, don't get a divorce. Try to stay married. Do what you can. Do the counseling. Pray. Tell Jesus on one another. Let them straighten it out. Because once you get a divorce, you're still married. You may got that paperwork done, but in God's eyes, the way it's written out in the Bible, you're still bonded to that man or that woman until someone dies that you were married to. Only then they can remarry. But you cannot remarry. You're not supposed to remarry. It's not a good thing to remarry if you got a divorce already. Okay, so that's basically where it boils down to. Is that kind of harsh? But it is what it is. So Jesus doesn't like that. But he doesn't want anybody to really get divorced, because even if you get a divorce by men, you know, the paperwork, you're still not divorced. Separate. Now, if you separate, it's not a divorce. You separate and just stay away from them. But you can't be doing that neither on the side. So that's where you got to contain yourself. For some, it's a very hard thing to do. All right. That's going to do it.